Hello and welcome back to Building on a Budget Models. Today we'll be unboxing this, the MG Metro 6R4 Rallye Monte Carlo 1986 kit in 1/24 by Belkits. Now this is the first Belkits kit I've ever made, so it'd be pretty interesting to see what it has inside. You can see here just a bit of information. More sort of pictures of the real car. Length, sort of licensing, and the same picture on the other side. So let's open it up and have a look. So I've got decals, instructions, a white sprue, a photo etch fret, in fact two photo etch frets there. Rubber sprue, tyres, these are metal transfers, these in a moment, a very small chrome sprue, and clear sprue, another white sprue, another white sprue, another white sprue, and another white sprue. And a box. Created for the short-lived Group B Rally category, the four-wheel drive mid-engined MG Metro 6R4 of 1984, 6R4 standing for 6-cylinder, rear-engine, four-wheel drive, was a world away from the best-selling city car to which it bore only a superficial cosmetic resemblance. The competition car effectively only shared the name of the production Metro, as it featured a mid-mounted engine with four-wheel drive transmission, enclosed with a semi-monocoque seam-welded tubular chassis. The development of this vehicle had been entrusted to Williams Grand Prix Engineering. The resulting car was shown to the world in May 1985. It was powered by a David Wood-designed bespoke 3-litre V6 power plant, which used some of the engine architecture of the Cosworth DFV. It featured twin overhead camshafts and 4 valves per cylinder. The engine was a break from the norm, as it wasn't turbocharged as the majority of its competitors were. The engine was mounted back to front of the car, with the forward end of the engine facing the hatchback and the gearbox attached conventionally behind it, and therefore in the middle of the vehicle. The four-wheel drive was permanently engaged and drove separate prob shafts to the front and rear differentials. The rear differential was mounted on the side of the engine sump, with one drive shaft running through the sump to the near side rear wheel. Much of the outer bodywork was made of GRP, with the only exception being the roof panels, which were aluminium. The steel doors and the remaining panels from the MG Metro shell. The doors were, however, concealed in plastic airboxes. Indeed, models now on show generally have stickers demonstrating where it is safe to push from when moving the vehicle so as to not damage the bodywork. The 6R4 appeared in two guises. There was a so-called Clubman model, which was the road-going version, which developed in the region of 250 brake horsepower, 186 kilowatts, of which around 200 were made and sold to the public for £40,000. This was the homologation version. A further 20 were taken and built to international specifications, which had a recorded output of over 410 brake horsepower. At its launch in 1985, Rover announced that it would complete the necessary number of cars required for homologation by November of that year. This was undertaken at the group's large manufacturing facility at Longbridge. This car was to participate in the Lombard RAC Rally in November 1985. An example, driven by the works driver Tony Pond, finished a highly respectable third behind two Lancia Delta S4s. This good start was unfortunately not repeated, and although a 6R4 was entered in rallies in Monte Carlo, Sweden, Portugal and Corsica during the 1986 season, none of these Metros managed to complete a course. The majority of these problems were related to the V6 power plant, which suffered teething issues. Halfway through the 1986 season, Group B was banned following a series of fatal crashes in which both competitors and spectators lost their lives. From that point on, the 6R4 was always going to be limited in frontline competition, although they were run with limited success for the remainder of the year. A number passed into private hands and have proved formidable rally and rallycross cars. Austin Rover withdrew from rallying scene at the end of the season, but in 1987 all the parts and engines were sold to Tom Walkinshaw Racing, whereupon the V6 engine reappeared in the Jaguar XJ220, this time with turbochargers added. We'll have a quick look at the instruction manual here. Now, it's quite useful. Belkits don't do their own paints, so on the front here it has suggestions for Tamiya colours, Revell colours, Humbrol colours, and also Mr. Hobby. It also suggests some tools which you might need, precautions, things like that. Anyway, we're just going to go through. These pictures are very good quality. Colour in places as well, you'll notice. Sort of paint suggestions and decals and things like that. Alright, sort of in the order that they're piled up here. So this white sprue here has got parts for the night stage lights, the front kind of mudguard, wing mirrors. Yeah, I think that's part of the spoiler over there. These are the air intake on the side of the car. Yep. So this part here has got the dashboard, has the steering wheel positioned on this side. So these displays were for the co-driver. A bit strange. Steering wheel, kind of wires and pipes. Part of the roll cage. This section here has got shock absorbers, disc brakes, sort of more shock absorbers, parts of the exhaust system down here, more parts of the engine. I think this might be a skid plate, gearbox, sort of stuff. Okay, next part here. Now, comes with 2 sets of wheels and a spare as well. Now I think that these are for this version of the kit, and the other version with the Rothmans livery I think use these. It's quite nice. It comes with 2, so yeah, can always use these for another build perhaps. Yeah, lots of small parts on this sprue. It's the engine, I presume. I think these are for the tops of the engine. It looks like there's a spoiler over there. I think that might go on the back. Okay, next we've got the clear sprue. Obviously we've got the windows and lights on this. So there's the windscreen. I think these go on, these are like sort of vents. Sort of door mirrors and rear mirrors, night stage lights, indicators, tail lights, headlights. Yep, it's nice they've got these little sort of screws moulded into them, which the real one has as well. The next part I won't be taking out, so they've got some very nice red ribbon. I think this is 2mm wide, looks 2mm, compare it to the grid. Yeah, so that's pretty nice. Then we've got the chrome sprue. I won't take this out actually. So yeah, those are for the headlights on this side, and these ones are for the night stage lights. So presumably you leave them like that rather than cutting them out. It looks like there's a couple of little things here. Don't know what those are. So these, I think that is a windscreen mask there in white, which you can just about see. So presumably to help you do the black trim around the windscreen. And then as well as that, there is a very nice little sheet of metal transfers, which I won't be taking. So it's got a lovely MG badge in red and silver. These must be for the wing mirrors and presumably review mirror. Those two I don't know, but yeah, we'll find out. Then we've got some rubber parts here. I will open these up, this one first. So yeah, this looks like that's part of the skid plates maybe. And it's got wires for the engines, which are very nicely moulded. Those are presumably the polycaps. I think it's funny. Maybe there's mud cards for the front and the rear wheels. These look like mud cards, definitely. But yeah, that's nice. And then of course we've got these tyres. Now these don't all look the same. I think some of them are different. So look. There's no marking on them. I'm not sure there are tyre decals that come with this actually, although the car is sponsored by Michelin. Sure. But anyway, it's nice. Springy. They're separate as well. The photo etch here, which I won't be getting out for the same sort of reason. So we've got bits for the seat belts over here. I think those are bonnet clips. All these kind of mesh bits for different grills. The brakes. I don't know what these are. Maybe they're like fuel filler caps. Not sure. Then there's a couple of little pins. And there's also a wire rod. So yeah, it'll be interesting to find out what all of these are for. As you can see on this side, they've got little codes so that you know what's what. I'm seeing in the instruction that these go on the mudguards. Don't know why, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, then we've got our final white sprue, and obviously this has got some pretty big parts of the car. So that's the undercarriage. It's got some holes drilled into it, but I did see on the instruction that it wants some other holes drilled, so yeah, I guess we'll have to do that later. There's the interior tub, there's the door cards, and the two seats, which look identical. But yeah, all very nicely moulded. You can easily tell that this is a very new tooling. And in the box we have got the body itself. As you can see here, it's not a big car. But of course, why would it be? The Metro was the successor to the Mini, so it would be it was a small car. Although the 6R4 had some absolutely humongous bodywork on it. Okay, all looks very crisply moulded. There are holes for different parts need to be added. Maybe some mould lines at the front here, but not too bad. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Presume the windows will go in from the inside. You can see those pins there. Yeah, so this will have a full detailed engine at the back, but no way of looking at it unless you were to open this up, which I don't plan on doing. But yeah, not a big car, but certainly pretty amazing when you consider what it was based on. And then finally we have the decal sheet. Now this is interesting because these are redone decals, because when this kit originally came out, as you can see here, Malcolm Wilson and Nigel Harris, but there was a misprint on the decals, and the driver was named as Angel Harris, and also Malcolm was misspelt as well. So if we look at the decal sheet here, you'll notice that it now says Nigel Harris. Malcolm is still misspelt, unfortunately, which is a shame, but still, that's obviously a big improvement. We had already started designing some replacements for this. So some of the blue is already done here, so you'd need to get the right blue to match that. I think there's a Tamiya colour suggested. There's a Decal MG badge there. I don't know if one of them is, if it's optional with the metal transfer, not sure. Lots of these sort of Kevlar carbon fibre. Lots of interior decals there, and I think some of these go on the engine. What else we got? So this goes on the grille, that's why it's in all those different pieces. A number plate, Paris, so that was where they started when they did the old Parcours de Concentration. Now also, you can see here the large sort of Computervision logos. It was number 11. What else we got? So up here, you see we've got optional decal seatbelts. So I guess if you weren't feeling up to making your own threaded decals, you could use these decal ones instead. I'll be making the real ones because I've done that quite a lot. But yeah, these are really nice. See down there, printed by Cartograph. So you'd expect really good quality. Obviously a bit of a shame about the names, but this is a big improvement from the first kit where, you know, you were driving with angels. There we have it. Really looking forward to building this. It won't be my next build, but I will be building it very soon. Okay, thanks for watching. Please do comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.